All right, folks, we had to restart this video because Miss Katie had a bunch of cat hair on her face. So, that was, What are we talking about today? Plastic folders? Why are we talking about plastic folders, Tootsie?
Because you put your War Game magazine games in these and store them.
A pretty nifty solution, wasn't it?
Darn nifty.
Because what did we do before?
Wasn't good.
We fussed. We tried to find plastic things that never seemed to seal right.
Never really had a good solution.
Do you recall how we came up with these?
I can't say I do.
Well, let me tell you how, because Jeff Downey, we like Downey sports games a lot. And he sends them in these, wiggle it, yay, in those. And I said, after getting a couple of them, the brain went, good solution. Now, how does it look? In terms of, does a game fit in them?
Sure does. Very nicely.
Isn't that nice?
Holds the game, the components.
Ooh, the components word again.
Components, a big word.
That's a big word for you.
For 2 cups of coffee. Yeah. Everything's contained, another big word. And you know where everything is.
And why do we have a bin on the table?
Because that's how you store them.
And of course...
Just like that.
And we would put a top on it, because where do we live?
Florence, Alabama.
And what do we call this place? The house of what?
House of cats.
And we have dogs.
And dogs.
So people do things sometimes in boxes and pull things out and not good. Run off with counters. Maggie, our oldest kitty now, runs off with bags of counters. So this way, we don't have anything sitting out. So this is the beginning of what you see, the way we do business here. Now, let's go over to the computer and we'll show them what the next step in the process is. All right, folks, next step in the process. Normally, I would be sitting in the chair, but Patsy... Well, actually, we have the 2 kitties named after my mother. We've got Patsy and we've got Petunia. Can you see Petunia, folks? She blends. She's our big black girl. She has...
one eye.
One eye. So she's known as...
OAP, One-Eyed Petunia.
One-Eyed Princess.
Princess.
Get that right, little girl.
Excuse me.
But here's what we do next. You saw that Miss Katie had Black Gold Texas tea up. What we would do here, because we're already on the site for Board Game Geek, and although we already own it in our collection, we would click on this and then click the own button, because then I know that I own it. Because this game will go down to the garage, to the detached garage, into a bin, unless it's a priority game that I want to review. And then it goes into the closet in the game room in bins for that sole purpose. And then, of course, we have a list of games we try to review in a more timely manner. Unless so-and-so sends me a game and says, Smitty, would you please review my game now? And we go, well, it jumped the moon. Okay, we'll do that. So, all right, folks, we will head to the garages next to show you how we organize things. Of course, this is where we keep our box games. We keep them up in the big garage by the big house because less possibility of something happening to them because these are generally our more expensive games. Do you remember where we got these cabinets?
Did we get them in Colorado?
We got them in Pennsylvania. Right, when we still lived in Spring Mills.
Oh, okay. So a while ago.
Do you remember what a pain in the butt it was getting them?
Yeah, vaguely.
And getting them up the stairs to the game room in that house.
That was a nightmare.
And we actually thought about conveying them with the house. But let me show you, Miss Katie, if I can ask you to step out of the picture, please. We do this by and we pretty much remember this. It's something we actually remember. Here we got lock and load. Down here we go with our good Italian friend, VNG Games. We've got One Small Step. Then we got Uber's Games from Academy. And then we've got lots of small games, mainly White Dog games, but others. And then we go over here. We've got a Shelf of Worthington, Compass Games, Old SPI, Flat Games. We come over here. We got Odds and Ends Big Games, mainly DVG and some OSG, Avalon Hill, some Odds and Ends games, and also Columbia Games. And up here, mainly SPI, but some other Odds and Ends games. So you get to see here, again, it's all organization because we know where everything is for the most part. Okay, folks, we are now in the detached garage, which is the game annex. Sports games. Now, notice I don't have these labeled. Eventually I'm going to, because then I have to come down. I can usually know which is my football, baseball, and basketball, but still, let's just go ahead and make it better and easier. And I got nastiness right there on what I just picked up off the floor. But, how many of you have this game? This was like the first computer football game from like 1968-69. Beautiful piece of work. It doesn't play so well, but that's a minor thing. But sports games are delineated by their own. Then we come over to this thing. We drug this down from the main garage one day because we didn't like it up there because it really didn't flow in the garage. So I had to bring all the games down here. Miss Katie was out running around doing things, and she might have had a girly appointment too, something like nails or hair. But we drug this down to the garage. It was not fun. But all of our GMTs go on this one, and our other box games, big box games above. Magazines all go here, and you notice, like ATO, They Victus, World at War, Line of Fire, Modern Warfare, S&T, My Old Fire Movements, and some other assorted game stuff. Again, organization, we know where everything is. And like here, these games on these two rows right here and this one back here are games I have played and reviewed. So we have a system. These have not been played and reviewed yet at the front. Everything else, oh no. Then we come over here. This is the games you see sitting here, things are things we need to get kind of put away. Those are our odds and ends things. More sports things, Stratomatic baseball. Do you need to walk closer to me, Toots?
I do.
Why don't you walk closer to me, little girl? Miniatures, tanks, more tanks, because what did I do? I was a tanker. I sit at the right hand of God the Father Almighty because he loves St. George. And miniature ships as well. Old HO Airfix men. There's a scan in there. I played with those as a child. My boys played with them, so they've gone through a lot of use. Then we got here, my old other favorite. The back of the comic book for $1.98, 200 Roman soldiers. Maps go here. Game maps for other things go there. And of course, this is our pride and joy concept-wise. Notice everything on, I think we put a new one out that we need to get a tag on. You see A to CL. These are games we've played. All these are games we played. This is not a miniatures company, but a naval warfare company and odds and ends stuff. These are games we have not played. So they go from Alpha to Bravo Romeo with a U, not unclassified, unplayed. So we know everything. Again, it's status. Everything has a status, and this is our process. Maybe this will help you. Maybe it'll give you some ideas. I'm certain you can improve on it. Then and of course, we got our Sierra Oscar to Zulu unplayed games. Our SPI folios and games that were to be published that we may have helped work on are right there, and other assorted stuff. There you have it, folks. You understand our process? I'm sorry. I hope this helps you. I hope this gives you some ideas of your own on what to do things, because our dear late friend, Barry Kendall, who passed unexpectedly in November this year, loved what we were doing, and it was one of his goals before the Lord took him unexpectedly to start doing this, because Barry had over 2,500 games and a scan of miniatures, so he needed something, and he liked our process, but he was called onto the Lord before he could get to that. So thank you, folks. As always, we're having a good time, and we're in Alabama and the weather is nice. Thank you, folks.